All right, stage is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks everyone for listening to our talk. So,
Indeed. Okay, so let me just make sure this works. Yep. Oh, okay, that is actually
only
pretty
you
neat.
click it, or like can I
Can
click
you
on
try
it?
clicking and right-clicking?
Oh, use right click. Okay. No.
Left
Oh.
click to proceed and right click to go previous. Yep.
Oh, it works. Okay.
Okay, in that case,
Oh, I
Bernice,
think I went
did you
too
click
far.
in?
How do we reset this?
Keep hitting left.
Thank you.
Okay.
So everybody, thank you for making it out to our talk about making games stand out. My name's Isaiah Johnson, and I'm the founder of Project Beanstalk, a video game company working to bring diversity into the video game industry.
And hi, I'm Bernice, and I have a crippling game dev addiction. Okay, nothing. Oh, whatever. Okay, no seriousness. I am a one-person indie game dev studio. I call it Top Productions because I'm uncreative and I just use my name. But in this case, I am partnering with Project Beanstalk and Isaiah and our team to be their programmer and UX UI designer, game designer, and anything else they might need for our RPG, which we will kind of talk about a bit here aside from our main topic, which is how to make your game stand out with social impact. Oh wait, that's backwards. Okay, left click forward.
So with that
All right.
said, we're talking about social impact in games. And when I say social impact, there's a lot of impact you could make on the world. Social impact is impacting the world or different communities in some way or form. We're going to be talking about positive social impact because, again, there's a lot of different things you can do. But in our case, we're working on
Yeah, those are all the different
there we
kinds of
go.
social impact that we just listed a while ago.
One
This is
moment.
our game.
Oh, hang on, Bernice.
Okay.
The right click function and all. Please just go down one more up. That's two more. Okay, are you good? Yes, you're good. Okay, so in terms of social impact, what it is, you'll see a bunch of different examples of social impact. Like you're probably more familiar with mental health because a lot of VR games have to do with mental health. A lot of companies are steering towards diversity, so helping people of color, the LGBTQ community, disabled, etc. In our case, we are working in the diversity space, trying to bring diversity into gaming, as well as mental health through our game Typotrauma, which is meant to teach people what to do when those around you are suffering from anger, depression, or anxiety. There we go.
You get to interact with various characters in this world and try to help them by using communication skills, empathy, and emotional intelligence. For example, one of the characters that you're going to help is a wizard. Her name's Irene, and she is anxious because she needs to go to a job interview and she's scared of having a bad outcome.
Yep, we cover a variety of different mental health issues and explore how people feel when they go through those situations. That way, we can break them down to our audience to better recognize when someone's going through certain issues, and more importantly, how they can navigate their own emotions when dealing with distress. So, just a short list of some topics we're covering in our game: interview anxiety, as you've seen with Irene, alienation, and disability.
So, since our main topic is how do you make your game stand out, I guess you want to know a list of answers when I think of what makes games stand out or what makes our particular game stand out, I think about the quote by Toby Fox. Toby Fox says, "What makes indie games so special? That is heart." And what that means is it's the creativity and the personality and the experiences of the creator. Did that come true? Oh, yeah, it is. There it is. Yeah, so like I know it sounds corny and silly and cheesy about like heart and things like that, but it's actually true, especially like for smaller developers. When we have less people in the team, um, everybody's experience and input and personality shows through because all of us can contribute something of ourselves and give each other feedback about like how we can improve the game. So some element of us comes through in indie games. Um, and they're in order to make this game, which is greater than the sum total of or like greater than just the parts itself. There's music, writing, programming, game design, art, and level design, and so on and so forth. It's all our forms of self-expression. And yeah, side note, people don't usually think of programming as a form of self-expression, but it actually is because trying to select which way to implement something, which way we can which form of implementation to use in order to work together with all the other elements. um it's not an exact science. There's no like one right answer to do everything. um anyway, so this is what we mean by um what makes your game special is because there's something there that only we can tell and only we can make. If you would
That
like
was
to
one
see
of
the full speech.
Oh, and that was one of my favorite parts of the speech as well, where he's asking, okay, like, why do we need games? And that sort of brings me to the importance of games, because, games, media, it teaches you a lot, education, empathy. There's so many different applications to the effects a video game can have on your brain. It's just, we need developers to think more about what is their game, why it's important, and what effect is their game having on their audience.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot to say something. In case people don't know who's Toby Fox, he's the creator of Undertale, and he gave this speech in the Indie Games Live. So if you would like to see the full speech, please go on that link, or you can just look in YouTube Toby Fox Indie Games Live, and that just shows up. Oh wait, I pressed the wrong button again. Okay, so this is a summary of what makes games stand out. Number one, wait, why are we going backwards and forwards? Did I?
Right click it. There you go.
Yeah, now number one, diverse teammates equals creative ideas. Number two, make a game that you really want to make. Number three, community management and marketing can also help make your game stand out. And number four, thinking about how your game will affect the world and social impact can be one way to make your game stand out. I mean, like, not saying anything about other kinds of games. I love other kinds of games too. There's a time and place for everything. And it's like what Toby Fox said in his speech earlier. If somebody had a bad day and then something in the game made them smile, like even if the game is not serious or doesn't have social impact, as long as it does what you intend, um, then that's one of the things that makes your game special. Okay, so number one.
Yep, definitely the biggest thing that helps our game stand out in terms of its creativity, the art that goes into it, the ideas that go into it is definitely our team. Our team's super diverse, super creative. What I mean by diverse, we all come from different backgrounds, be it racial, social, gender. But what I always look for in diversity is difference of mindset. Like, it's a really important thing. A lot of teams, groups, families, a lot of people fail because they don't think about, are the people around them do they think differently, or do they have different insights, different ideas? With myself, I've wanted to create an LGBTQ game for a while, but I had no clue what I was thinking until I actually onboarded some LGBTQ folks to my team. And, every week they're talking, giving off creative ideas, giving me their experiences. I'm like, oh wow, what would I do without y'all? It's like almost like when you're playing Pokemon and you're running a team of fire types. Well, fire types have several weaknesses, and a lot of them can come out of the blue. And it's like, oh no, what happened? It's hard to understand, let alone overcome your weaknesses if you're not around people who think differently than you.
Number two, make the game that you really want to make. In our case, we really wanted to make this game because, as far as we've known and as far as we've researched, there's not really any game that teaches about empathy, communication skills, and emotional intelligence that's out there. And we were also kind of inspired by different games. So, like, some inspirations for this is the dialogue battles in Deus Ex Human Revolution and Undertale, where you go through the pacifist route, and also Ace Attorney. Um, like, as far as we know, like, nothing like this exists out there. So we really wanted to make this. Um, what's next? Even if you're making a game, not something that you want to play, but something else, something that other people want to play, that's still your opinion. That's still your opinion of, like, I want other people to be able to play this game because it doesn't exist yet. Okay. Next. Oh, I clicked too far. Sorry. Yeah. So, when we're talking about, like, unique games, maybe try to make a game that doesn't exist. That sounds really vague, but think about this, right? Like, before the Ace Attorney series, there was no game where, like, you play as a lawyer and, like, you investigate stuff. But because this now exists, like, people really like it. Like, nobody will know if something is successful or not unless we try it. And who knows, like, maybe there's an audience out there who really really wanted to try something like this. Next up is, oh no, I clicked on the email and now the email thing is popping up. Sorry about that. Yeah. And next up is, like, even if you're making a game that doesn't already exist, try thinking of a twist, in a unique twist to it. So, for example, oh, the slide disappeared. There's supposed to be a transition slide between these two. Anyway, so, for example, the first stealth game. Can anyone tell me what it is? Okay, so surprisingly, it is not Metal Gear. Metal Gear. At first, I thought, oh, Metal Gear for the MSX was the original stealth game, but that's not true. The actual original stealth game, it's a toss-up because they both came out in 1981. Um, Castle Wolfenstein for the Apple II, which is that image on the right, and a Sega game called 005, which is that image on the left. They were the original stealth games. But when Metal Gear came out, the Hideo Kojima and the rest of the team put their own twist to it, and people remember that one more because it has interesting characters and an engaging storyline and funny dialogue and interesting dialogue. Um, it also doesn't help that Wolfenstein is now a shooter game, but okay. So yeah, this one saying, like, Metal Gear came out actually in 1987, so it was not the original stealth game, but this is what people remember more when they think of stealth games. So, another part of making making the game that you really want to make is listening to player feedback, because that's really important. But at the same time, there's a balance, because you don't want to listen too much to player feedback that the game becomes very different than your original vision. What you actually want to do is you want to make you want to take in player feedback and use that to help you make the make other people understand your vision of the game better, whether something is working or not. So this is the summary of all the things that I just said. Really caring about the game that you want to make, and whether or not it's like, oh, that's a kind of thing that I want to make, or that's a topic that I really care about. Using player feedback to make sure that they understand your vision. Try making something that's an original, not necessarily following the trends, but try making something original. And even if you're not making something original, like for example, we're on an RPG, we're making an RPG. There's tons of RPGs out there. Everyone thinks like Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, but we're putting our own different twist on it. Yeah, those are all ways that when I say that, those are all what I mean by when I say make a game that you really want to make. Okay, next is
Just real quick,
marketing
we
and
got about
community
2
management.
minutes.
Oh,
2 minutes it is. So yeah, just as important as making the game you want to make, you want to be able to attract customers, in which case a community manager would be really beneficial. We found a community manager, someone who can get people interested in our game, manage our social media marketing, and more importantly, understand our customers, demographics from low income communities, LGBTQ, color communities, someone from those demographics who can say, yeah, your users would really enjoy this, or no, you probably shouldn't put that in your game. More importantly, they can help develop strategies to attract customers, Twitch streams, live streams, etc.
yeah, everyone mentioned earlier about like community engagement is really important. Like if you've listened to everyone's panels previously.
It's going very forwards and not backwards at all. Bernice, could you right click 3 times?
1, 2, 3.
2 more. Oh, 1 more.
2 more?
1 more. There we go. So some of the benefits of developing a
yeah.
game with social impact in mind, for us, we've gotten grants. A lot of people wanted to partnership with us. And more importantly, like getting like-minded individuals. I absolutely love my team. They're the most mindful team I've ever worked with. And yeah, it's really fun and rewarding work. In terms of getting opportunities, a big part is what are your values, what is your mission, and what is your vision? Like, in our case, it's very clear. We want to help teach emotional intelligence. So we can tap into both the game industry and the mental health industry, which helps us find a bunch of opportunities. In my case, storytelling's like the most important tool I've ever used. Being able to say who you are, what you're working on, and why you're working on it, very foundational in being able to attract the right people and attract the right opportunities, and get people interested in what you're doing. A special thank you and shout out to our development team, all the people who've put in work into the development of our game. They are so amazing and mindful. Thank you to Jeremy and Virtual World Arcade for letting us go up on stage. And a thank you to you all for viewing our presentation. If you wanted to know more about what we're talking, sorry, you can take it, Bernice.
I was gonna say, if you'd like to connect with us, those are the links to our websites and social media. If you'd like to follow us more and see more developments about typal trauma, those are the ways that you can contact us and connect with us as well. I think we were both gonna say the same thing. Okay.
Indeed. We just started a Discord for Project Beanstalk, a public one. So if you're interested, please connect, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Isaiah. Thank you, Bernice. Thank you, everybody.
You as well.